Imagine this. It's Monday morning. The alarm blares. You hit snooze once, maybe twice. You rush to get ready, grab your phone, your keys, and run out the door with coffee in hand. But no breakfast. Sound familiar? You're not alone. Surveys show that about 1 in 4 Americans regularly skip breakfast. And yet, breakfast has long been called the most important meal of the day. But is that just an old saying, or does science actually back it up? In this video, we'll break down exactly why breakfast matters, what happens to your body when you skip it, and how to make it work for your busy lifestyle. By the end, you'll know how to turn breakfast into a tool that boosts your energy, sharpens your focus, and even helps you manage your long-term health. So stick around, because this might just change how you start your mornings. Why breakfast matters. The science behind it. Let's start with the basics. When you sleep, your body goes into a natural fasting state. That's 6, 7, maybe 8 hours without food. By morning, your blood sugar, the fuel your brain and muscles run on, can be on the lower side. Now picture trying to drive your car without enough gas. Sure, you might make it down the road, but eventually, things sputter. That's exactly how your body feels when you start the day without refueling. Studies consistently show that people who eat breakfast tend to have better concentration and memory throughout the morning, higher energy levels and less fatigue, and interestingly, better weight management over time. Why? Because skipping breakfast often leads to overeating later in the day. It's like trying to hold your breath. Eventually, your body will make up for it, and usually in the form of high-calorie snacks or late-night cravings. Here is the kicker. The American Heart Association found that people who regularly skip breakfast had a 21% higher risk of developing heart disease compared to those who eat it consistently. That's not just about feeling hungry. That's about long-term health. Common myths about breakfast. Now I know what you might be thinking. But I've heard skipping breakfast helps with intermittent fasting. Great point. Let's break down a few myths. 1. Skipping breakfast saves calories. Truth, you might save calories at 8 a.m., but research shows you're more likely to compensate later, sometimes eating even more than if you had a balanced breakfast. 2. A donut or sugary cereal counts as breakfast. Sorry, not quite. Yes, technically it's food, but here's the problem. Those options spike your blood sugar fast, then crash it just as quickly. That's why you feel sluggish an hour after eating. Real breakfast is about balance: protein, fiber, and healthy fats. 3. Coffee is enough. I get it. Americans love their coffee. But caffeine isn't fuel. It tricks your brain into feeling awake while your body is still running on empty. Think of it as revving the engine without adding gas. Breakfast and the American lifestyle. Here's where it gets real. Americans are busy. Between long commutes, early school drop-offs, and demanding jobs, breakfast often feels impossible. But skipping it takes a toll. For adults, it can mean lower productivity at work. For kids and teens, missing breakfast is linked to lower test scores and more behavioral issues in school. Let me give you an example. A study on U.S. students showed that those who ate breakfast before school had better math and reading scores compared to those who skipped. Teachers even reported improved attention spans. Now let's connect this to real life. Have you ever noticed how cranky you or your kids get when you haven't eaten? That's not just being moody. It's literally your brain running on low fuel. And in a culture that values performance, productivity, and focus, breakfast is one of the simplest tools we have. What a healthy breakfast looks like. So what should you actually eat? Here's the formula. Protein plus, fiber plus, healthy fats. Think of it as building a stable foundation, not a quick sugar rush. Examples: oatmeal topped with nuts and berries, Greek yogurt with fruit and a drizzle of honey, eggs with whole grain toast and avocado, a smoothie with spinach, banana, almond butter, and protein powder. These combos keep blood sugar steady, provide lasting energy, and reduce mid-morning crashes. Now let's compare that to common breakfast choices. A glazed donut? Tastes great, but sugar spike, sugar crash. Sugary cereal? Same deal, just coffee? You'll be wired, then drained. It's not about perfection, it's about upgrading what you already do. Even swapping a bagel with cream cheese for whole grain toast with peanut butter makes a difference. Breakfast and weight management. Let's tackle one of the biggest questions. Does breakfast help with weight loss? Here it's what the research says. People who eat breakfast regularly are more likely to maintain a healthy weight long term. Not because breakfast is magical, but because it helps regulate appetite and reduces overeating later. Imagine your metabolism like a campfire. Breakfast is the log that gets it burning steadily. If you skip it, your body still burns energy, but less efficiently, and you're more likely to throw on junk logs, like chips or fast food, later in the day. One study found that adults who ate a high-protein breakfast reported fewer cravings for junk food throughout the day. Protein really is your secret weapon here. Practical tips for busy mornings. Okay, I hear you. This all sounds good, but I don't have time. No worries. Here are practical hacks. 1. Prep the night before. Overnight oats, boiled eggs, or smoothie packs can save you time. 2. Go portable. A banana with a handful of almonds, or a protein bar with decent ingredients. 3. Batch cook. Make breakfast burritos on Sunday, freeze them, and reheat all week. 4. Keep it simple. Breakfast doesn't need to be gourmet. Even a slice of whole grain bread with nut butter is better than nothing. Here's a challenge. For the next 7 days, try eating something balanced within 2 hours of waking. Notice how your energy, mood, and focus feel. You might be surprised. Who might not need breakfast? Now for fairness, is breakfast for everyone? Not necessarily. Some people practicing intermittent fasting prefer skipping breakfast and eating later in the day, and it can work for them. But here's the key. They still focus on balanced nutrition in their eating window. So the question isn't, do you eat at 8 a.m. or 12 p.m.? It's, when you eat, are you fueling your body with what it needs? For most Americans, especially kids, teens, and working adults, breakfast is still one of the easiest ways to get those nutrients in. All right, let's bring it home. Breakfast isn't just a cliché. It's the foundation of your day, fuel for your brain, energy for your body, and protection for your long-term health. Skipping it might save a few minutes, but it often costs you focus, mood, and even heart health down the line. So next time you're tempted to just grab coffee and go, remember, even a quick apple with peanut butter is better than nothing. Before you go, I'd love to hear from you. Do you usually eat breakfast, or do you skip it? And if you eat, what's your go-to? Drop it in the comments. I read them all. If you learned something new today, hit that like button. For more science-based health tips, make sure to subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss future videos. And if you know someone who's always skipping breakfast, share this video with them. It might be the nudge they need. Here's to starting your morning stronger, one bite at a time.